Welcome, collectors. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Diecast Emporium. Today's video will be episode 24 of the HO Files, and this is a display of a hazardous material motor vehicle accident. So to bring you up to speed, you kind of join us late in the call for this display. Really, a lot has happened before it's gotten to this point. A call came in for a suspected Class 2 HAZMAT incident for a motor vehicle accident. Was suspected of having a Class 2 chemical spill with pool waste. Upon arrival, one victim was extricated from the white pickup truck that you see, and after he received a bath of his life in our decontamination truck, which is this truck right back here, he was then sent off to the EMTs and driven to a local hospital for observation where no injuries were reported. Our incident commander arrived in our mobile command post truck, and by using the acronym APIE, which stands for Analyze, Plan, Implement, and Evaluate, he did in fact determine that this was a Class 2 incident and with chlorine gas leaking as the HAZMAT response. So that brings you up to speed on what's going on. We have 6 total HAZMAT firefighters, if you will. They are part of the Prizer firemen with orange chemical-resistant suits. Although, if you ask me, it looks awful yellow to me. But maybe I'm going colorblind. I don't know. These figures are very, very detailed and really quite cool because it's a very realistic depiction of the Class A HAZMAT suits that firefighters and any of the, hazardous material first responder suits that they would wear. They each have numbers on them, and I'll go ahead and bring these closer to the camera so you can see a better look at it. So the way these guys typically work here in the United States under the Federal Emergency Management Agency guidelines for HAZMAT material response, these guys would work in the buddy system, so they work in pairs of 2. And what's really neat is these are numbered on them. I didn't number these, that's how they came. And they're all in very realistic and interesting poses. So this guy has a little tool that he's using to work on our barrels. This guy is slightly bent over. Well, now he's fallen over. Perhaps, might have had a little bit too much to drink before the job. Anyway, this guy's number 3. Again, another tool that he's using. And again, a little personal experience for those that like me to interject my life history in with these displays. Back when I was in college and I was doing a little bit of work and internships with the Federal Emergency Management Agency, easy for me to say, I had to take a lot of the WMD and hazardous material responder courses, and I actually had the opportunity to get doled up in one of these suits. And they tape... Literally, they tape your gloves and by your shoes so that there's no possibility that any of the hazardous material substances can get into your suit via the weak areas. So, really cool. This guy is bent over. He's number 4. Again, with another tool. This one looks like, although it's very hard to tell, but it looks like this might be a Geiger counter. Perhaps he's checking for radiation. And this guy is just standing up, and he's number 1, so he's the lead guy. Over here, you have a fireman who's getting ready to put on the Class A suit. As a matter of fact, he's halfway there. And then the last guy in the 6-piece set is just a fireman who has not gotten his suit on at all yet. So there's the 6-piece figures. You also get a little dolly here, and a disposal barrel, yellow disposal barrel, top for the disposal barrel, and then 2 other just regular hazardous material barrels. In this case, I'm using these for the chlorine gas leak that came out of the back of the white pickup truck. So that concludes the Prizer figure set. Highly recommend that, especially if you want to do any sort of HAZMAT scene. All right, let's go on to the vehicles. We'll start with the ambulances. You've seen these a million times. First one, this is somewhat of a kit bash. This is a older, camera's wigging out. This is an older international style ambulance. I added an older cab, but it's the same basic style box van that you can get off the shelf. This is the bone stock version that you can literally get off the pegs at your local hobby shop, or if you wanted to go on the internet, you could just look up Walther's Scenemaster ambulance. So we have 2 ambulances parked. Again, we have our victim transported to the hospital, but it is not uncommon at a WMD or a hazardous material spill to have fire department or any other ambulances staged for the first responders should anything potentially happen. We have our fire chief's vehicle or incident commander vehicle. This is a new release by Walther Scenemasters. I use the name new very loosely because this is a old casting that they've kind of resurrected and then re-released. It's a 1998 Ford Expedition Fire Command vehicle. We have our River Point Station Ford F-Series as our offender, if you will, our guy that caused the accident. Then we have 2 different Model Power 2005 NYPD Ford Crown Victorias. I have a fleet of these for my police department, and 2 of them have been dispatched here to hold the line, secure the scene, prevent anybody from coming in or leaving. All right, finishing up with the bone stock fire trucks. An engine has been dispatched, as pretty much an engine goes out to any car accident, regardless of the reason. Should a fire break out or anything else happen with the car, there's an engine. This is I use it as our heavy rescue truck, but if you were to look this up, this is actually a HAZMAT truck, so you can use this just as your HAZMAT truck if you want to. But because I have my own HAZMAT truck, this serves as our heavy rescue unit. Okay, this truck right here is based off of one of my local fire department's prototypical hazmat and decontamination truck. It looks almost exactly like this, minus the colorful fire department graphics and everything else on it. But they do have, I believe it's a 2002 International Durastar tractor that pulls a retrofitted old beverage trailer that they've added a bunch of things to it to make it, well, a suitable hazmat and decontamination trailer. So that's what I have for that unit. And the star of the show is my mobile command post, our incident command vehicle. This is by Cherokee Valley Railroad, a buddy of mine that did this truck. You can check out the link at the top of your screen right now if you are interested in seeing a full-length review, but this has 2 sides that pop out and deploy when the truck's on scene. You can see the dish up on top. Love this truck. This obviously goes out to all major incidents where there is a required fire presence on the scene for quite a long, lengthy time. And it's very functional. It's a 3D printed body. I absolutely love this truck. To conclude the video, the background buildings have already been reviewed on this channel a few different times. I know, I'm pretty sure all of them have, but definitely Piggly Wiggly has. Again, you can check out that link to that HO file video, but it is the Menards Piggly Wiggly grocery store. Pretty cool. I do like the way that the interior is all detailed and lit up. Again, not going to waste too much more time on it. You can check the video out. The other building, on the other hand, the Red Owl, which I believe is also a grocery store. We zoom back out here. I believe that is also a grocery store, and J.R. Watkins is a business next to it. Now, if you look up top, I'm going to try and get this as close as I can to you guys. If you look up on top of Red Owl, this is a third business on the set, and it's just a law firm. You can barely see the sign there where it says Attorneys at Law, and there's 3 lawyers that are probably celebrating a recent win in a lawsuit. So a very nice set by Menards. Both of these are, and again, you can get them in both 187 or 148, which is O gauge, depending on whatever your railroad is. So that concludes episode 24 of the HO Files. Really hope you guys are enjoying this series as much as I am. Had this idea pop up, wanted to do a hazmat accident, hazmat call. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. Until next time, I'm Tommy with Diecast Emporium. Thank you all so much for your support and for watching. I'll see you in the next review.